outside of his private little space, and he never really gets into danger. Obviously, he doesn't get killed or anything, but he doesn't realize the risks at all times. The risks with the law, as we saw in the previous scene there. He doesn't think of that at all, although he was standing up to people who were breaking the law. I was thinking, Stu, how did you ever watch like more Game of Bruceploitation outside of that Game of Death and Dragon Lives Again?
Not really. I just really didn't have an interest in it because a lot of it, like as you're saying, some of it's guilty pleasure, some of it's terribly exploited.
Okay, Stewart, Challenge of the Tiger, naked, topless tennis matches, Bruce Lee fighting a bull. You need to watch it.
That's just like me saying kettle, table, video game. Complete 3 random things that shouldn't be put together. What?
They should!
Naked tennis, what? Right.
The things that you mentioned, they can put that in like a Japanese tokusatsu TV series, the kettles and the tables.
Monsters, yes.
But the Dragon Lives Again, it must have made an impression on you as one of these, it's not run-of-the-mill type stuff.
It's one of those moments in life when I'm sitting there with my 8-month-old nephew, and he turns and looks at me and wonders, what the fuck are we watching?
and he's only 2 years old.
No, he's only 8 months at that point. Yeah, but that's probably the best time to introduce him to the concept of Bruceploitation. Yeah.
Oh, with like child-friendly characters like Popeye showing up.
Yeah.
Exactly. There you go.
Clint Eastwood and one on Swordsman and Satoichi and Emmanuel and there's nothing wrong with that.
But I was going to say I could blame it on the availability, but I do think that Vengeance Videos did churn out a lot of the Bruceploitation flicks.
Yeah, they've always been around. I mean, even in full screen versions and dubbed. And by the way, dubbed for Bruceploitation is probably the greatest English dubbed is probably the greatest language to watch some of these Bruceploitation movies in, because it's it's completely silly, and you want to have a silly exaggeration.
Right here, where he thinks he's Bruce Lee, but no, Piggy.
I mean, the funny thing is, to this day, this is still how they sell sunglasses in the market. They'll have the picture of Andy Lau or Chow Yun-fat from A Better Tomorrow, and they still play up this exact thing. If you go to Temple Street, all the the sunglasses shops are playing the same thing with the posters and the pictures. Yeah.
This great actor Fung Man, he turns up again in small roles everywhere. I'm not sure he's dead yet, to be honest, because he seemed to be old like this for about 30 years.
And wearing the same fucking getup as well. I'm pretty sure he just walks off one movie setting onto another and picks up the same role.
I mean, that I'd agree. I mean, even in Rosa, he's wearing the same outfit, pretty much.
So, but yeah, I'm hard pressed to say which movies Fung Man appeared in, because he probably has 800 movies on his resume, and he's like 1 minute in each of those movies, playing like a elder triad or elder whatever, elder salesman.
Talking of triads, here's a motley-looking crew of stuntmen come to cause trouble. Yeah. You mugging for the camera there, turning to make sure he gets a good shot. Yeah.
He didn't get any extra money for that, I'm willing to bet.
Probably got
told off. Normally in Hong Kong, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, the big difference between Western filmmaking and Asian filmmaking, like in the West, often people, if you're on camera as a performer, you get an adjustment instead of you just being a stuntman. In Asia, that's why there's so many people from crew who are working on films as actors. It's just, you're here. You will play that character. You do. Yeah. I think one of the joys on Fearless was you got to have me grow my hair and look stupid, and then have me work as various departments on the crew as well as playing the referee. It was just a case of Mike's here. We can use him for everything. So yeah.
Punching bag.
I did get to double Anthony DeLongis' hand at one point. So yeah. It's one of those joys when people complain that they will never be doubled. At times, everyone is doubled just for specific reasons, such as, oh, he's not here today.
But back in the old days, I guess that was more the case with people like jumping between movies, 5 or 4 movies all in the same day. You know, Andy Lau, Giant. Oh, that's Mang Hoi again.
Oh no, I mean, there's a legend regarding Eddie Ko Hung. I mean, he once claims he didn't go home for 3 weeks because he was working different films. He would just sleep in vans between locations, etc. I mean, and that's the thing. For a while, the industry was that flat out that you could get away with that. You could do that. Yeah.
Billy Chan in the blue shirt.
There's Billy Chan himself, Chamungai. Yeah.
Great director. Actually, he may have made like 10 movies and only 2 of them were good, but No Compromise and Crazy Safari are damn outright Hong Kong classics.
Oh, come on, man. License to Steal as well is fantastic. I mean,
it's a long time I saw that, so I don't remember.
I mean, any movie that has Yun View riding a bicycle singing, "It is a beautiful day, the sun is shining, it is indeed a good day to practice Kung Fu on a mountainside."
But No Compromise and Crazy Safari, those movies couldn't be further apart. Crazy Safari is a fucked up movie.
Would you call Crazy Safari Bruceploitation?
Yeah. Kind of, but I wouldn't say would want to say why, because it would ruin the surprise.
Exactly, that's the problem.
But it's great. It's a great choice. They kind of signal that on the poster, because they take like a still, a drawn still from the Big Boss and put on the Crazy Safari poster, a very busy poster. If you ever get a chance to see that, Bruce Lee is on that.
Exactly, and that film gave Nick Sell a whole new career in Hong Kong cinema for about 2 years. I mean, it was crazy. He did like 6 movies over the course of a 2-year period. Yeah.
That would be the Bushman for people not knowing Nick Sao is. The Bushman from The Gods Must Be Crazy, and all of those Hong Kong movies eventually got to be called The Gods Must Be Crazy all around the world. So
Gods Must Be Crazy. There was Crazy Safari, Crazy Hong Kong, Gods Must Be Crazy in China, etc. Yeah. Which Gods Must Be Crazy in China also offers Cynthia Khan in a leopard skin shirt and shorts combo. So it's
one
also
of
a
them.
reason to check it.
They got together quite a good cast for it. Crazy Hong Kong, I think, has Lau Ching-wan.
Yeah, Lau Ching-wan and Cecilia Yip. Yeah.
And it's a sing-sound movie, so it's a crazy amount of effort they put into it. Here we go. The 2 brothers fighting a little bit. I mean, you can't do a Bruce Lee movie without nunchucks, obviously. So Sammo is ticking off what needs to be in a Bruce Lee movie, even if it's slightly approaching Bruceploitation.
And it's lackeys going through tables. Nothing better.
and all of these stuntmen, I guess, were in and around when Bruce Lee was alive as well, and in the movies. I've not seen Enter the Dragon in quite a long time, but I guess that's the movie where most of these people were in.
Most of them are in Fist of Fury and Enter the Dragon. I mean, because those were the 2 Bruce Lee movies that featured the most amount of stuntmen. But and you also have to remember, this was only like a couple of years after Bruce Lee's death, so the memory was still very strong. And I mean, it's Bruce completely revolutionized the industry. I mean, you have to remember, like, everyone plays down the Bruceploitation. Yuen Woo-ping was choreographing Bruceploitation movies.
Yeah.
Dynamo, Soul Brothers of Kung Fu with Bruce Lee. That's all Yuen Woo-ping's team. It's
Tower of Death.
I remember showing Yuen Woo-ping Soul Brothers of Kung Fu, and he was laughing because there was his entire family, pretty much. All leaping around, getting beaten up. It's most of those films, unfortunately, in Hong Kong, have never been seen again. Very few of them got VHS or LD release. Occasionally they'll start popping up on VCD, but so many of the Bruce Lee and the Bruce Lee movies, nobody's seen them in Hong Kong since they came out.
I'm kind of glad that this production got made. Okay, I don't know if it was a tough sell to make a more poignant, sincere, heartfelt, and honorary product rather than cheap Bruceploitation, but I'm kind of glad that this got a chance to be seen.
I mean, it's weird because Stephen Chow always wanted to do a young Bruce Lee movie, and I think the problem was everybody assumed he wanted to make a comedy, and when all the investors were willing to give him money, but he actually wanted to make a serious young Bruce Lee movie, and nobody would give him the finance for it. Because I think everyone thought it would be like this. It would be like Enter the Fat Dragon, be Enter the Young Dragon. And unfortunately, Stephen Chow was like, no, it'll be a serious movie with me as Bruce Lee. And everybody kind of went, oh, and walked away. And now Stephen Chow's meant to do Tai Chi, which is like a Way of the Dragon goes to America.